good afternoon, book lovers of the internet. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because for every subscriber, I get a new subscriber, and I also read a page from a book of my choice. So in today's video, as I mentioned in my live this morning, I am going to be reviewing this book called The Last White Man by Mohsin Hamid. Hopefully I said the name right, but basically this book has about 180 pages, one of the shorter ones, and I rated it 2 out of 5 stars, and I'll let you know exactly why in just a couple of minutes. So, I think it had a great message overall, but it was extremely boring in my opinion, and it is of course a very fascinating concept and a cool way to examine how racism truly is part of our society, even if at times we ignore this fact. And this application, so for instance, basically the characters in this book wake up one fine day and find out that their white skin has completely darkened, and they are of course perceived differently by society because of racism. But this application, with any other change, can of course be extended to several other social issues whereby we ignore the problem until it is our own. And I feel as though this reasoning, however, makes quite a lot of sense since it's pointless to pity if you have no way of creating change. For instance, that is particularly the reason why I don't really like bringing up politics or religion on my channel, and I am also trying very hard not to say the N-word during this video just because I want to be sensitive and respectful, you know? I mean, there's no point in pitying or in saying that you feel bad about something if you're not going to change. We all understand empathy in some way or another as long as we're not psychopaths, but at the same time, um, this reasoning does make a lot of sense. I feel as though it is very logical. So the long sentences were indeed extremely annoying, but at the same time, in their own way, they reflected how when such an event, in this case it is a so-called tragedy because there are so many issues that rise from this, there are so many um, crimes going on after these changes start to happen, that such a so-called tragedy, when it befalls the world, everyone seems to be out of breath from holding their breaths, and I think that is a very eloquent way of putting it and of describing the book in general. So this one, in my opinion, was quite harrowing and sad, as well as thought-provoking, um, even bordering the political, in my opinion, but the execution of this idea was, in my opinion, horrible. So if you were to ask me if there was a book which had a fantastic concept but written horribly, or could have been much better, this would be one of them, definitely. And that is the reason why I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I would have given it more, but 2 out of 5 stars for the idea alone. Otherwise, the writing was absolutely atrocious, in my opinion. And all the dialogues really didn't add much. It could have easily been an article or a short story, and it would have been more impactful. It would have served much more of a purpose. So, the small cast of characters was also a good point about this book, and it helped to create a further sense of empathy from the very beginning, especially when Anders, who is the main character, changes for the very first time. We see how his father reacts to this, then we see how his lover reacts to this, and then we start seeing what goes on when these people change as well. But the last white man, as it turns out, is Anders' father because he dies before he changes, and I think that says a lot, but at the same time doesn't really. I mean, I doubt that he died from the shock that his son turned a different shade, but not quite sure. It certainly wasn't suicide if I understood the book correctly. So love and hate are here contrasted in a very depressing way, which indicates how hate is something that is taught, something that we are taught by older people, by our elders when we are younger, rather than it is something that one is intrinsically in possession of. I mean, hating other people for no reason is something that other people teach us to do. It's not something that has to do with a flight or fight reaction, and it's very sad to see, and it is something to think about. That is what I really enjoyed about this book, how thought-provoking it was. So I would recommend it for the idea, but not for the writing style. Then again, it is a very quick read, and I read most of it on the bus myself, so um, in no way would I ask you not to read it because it would definitely change your impression of the way society works and will teach you something new. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of the writing overall. So anyway, that is all I had to say about Mohsin Hamid's The Last White Man. Let me know if you've read this one, what you think of it. It was published, this edition at least was published very recently. So let me know if you've read it, what you think of it, if you have some additional thoughts, or if you disagree with me in any way, shape, or form. And as usual, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, the usual stuff. You know what you have to do. And I hope to see you on the next one very, very soon. I think my next video will probably have to do with The Boy and the Dog by Seishu Hase. I only have about 50 pages to go, and I want to finish this one next. But then again, since I'm a mood reader, I might pick up something else and finish it instead, so no promises over there. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.